Right now, one of the most powerful machines ever built is operating near the Persian Gulf. Not because a war has started, but because something might. When the United States moves an aircraft carrier into this region, it is not a message for the public. It is a signal for everyone else. To understand why, you first need to understand what this ship actually is. An aircraft carrier like the USS Abraham Lincoln can reach speeds of over 30 knots. That is more than 55 kilometers per hour. For a ship this size, that is fast enough to reposition hundreds of kilometers in a single day without warning. An aircraft carrier is not just a ship. It is a fully operational airbase at sea. A single carrier can carry around 90 aircraft, including fighter jets, surveillance planes, and helicopters. More than 5,000 people live and work on board. It has its own hospitals, power systems, food supplies, and command centers. Everything needed to operate, fight, and survive for months without support from land. What makes an aircraft carrier different is not its size. It is how quickly it can launch power. Jets can take off every few seconds. Within minutes, aircraft are already in the air, hundreds of kilometers away. That speed means decisions can be enforced before diplomacy even begins. By the time a situation becomes public, the carrier has already done its job. Most of the ship is hidden below the flight deck. There are maintenance bays where aircraft are repaired around the clock. There are ammunition elevators moving weapons from deep inside the hull. There are command rooms tracking airspace, sea traffic, and communications. And there is a hospital prepared for emergencies long before anything happens. What looks calm on the surface is constant activity underneath. An aircraft carrier does not need to attack to have an effect. Its presence alone changes behavior. Airspace is avoided. Naval movements slow down. Decisions are delayed, recalculated, or abandoned entirely. Power in this form is quiet. It works because everyone understands what happens if it is ignored. This is why aircraft carriers are deployed before anything else happens. They are not a response. They are a warning. A way to shape events without crossing a line. And once a carrier is in position, every move around it is made more carefully. Because escalation is no longer theoretical. Most people think power is loud. They imagine explosions, sirens, and headlines. But real power is often quiet. It arrives early. It waits. And by the time the world starts paying attention, the outcome has already been shaped. And the most dangerous part is this. If something goes wrong, there is no pause button, only momentum. A carrier like the USS Abraham Lincoln can carry close to 90 aircraft. That includes fighter jets like the FA-18, along with electronic warfare planes, early warning aircraft, and helicopters. Not all of them are on deck at the same time. Most are stored, serviced, and constantly moved between different levels of the ship. Fighter jets handle air combat and ground strikes. Early warning aircraft act as flying radar stations, watching hundreds of kilometers in every direction. Electronic warfare planes can jam, confuse, or shut down enemy sensors and communications. Together, they form a complete air system, not just individual aircraft. An aircraft carrier is built in layers. There is the flight deck on top, where launches and landings happen. Below that is the hangar deck, where aircraft are stored, repaired, and armed. Below that are engineering spaces, weapons storage, fuel systems, and living areas. It is a vertical system, not a flat ship. Jets do not simply take off. They are launched using steam or electromagnetic catapults that accelerate an aircraft to takeoff speed in seconds. When they return, arresting cables catch the aircraft violently, stopping it in just a few meters. Every launch and landing is a controlled risk. More than 5,000 people operate the ship. Pilots, engineers, doctors, mechanics, technicians, cooks, and security crews. Each person has a narrow role. The carrier works because thousands of small tasks happen without mistakes. The ship is powered by 2 nuclear reactors. They do not drive the aircraft. They power the ship itself. These reactors can run for decades without refueling. That means the carrier does not depend on fuel supply lines in the same way other ships do. An aircraft carrier can operate at sea for months at a time. Food and spare parts limit endurance more than fuel. As long as aircraft and crew can be maintained, operations continue. This allows the ship to stay in position while situations on land change around it. The carrier is never alone. It is surrounded by destroyers, cruisers, and submarines. These ships protect it from missiles, aircraft, and underwater threats. The carrier itself is the center of a moving defensive system. Despite its size, an aircraft carrier is not invincible. Modern missiles, submarines, and drones are designed specifically to target ships like this. This is why carriers rely on distance, detection, and layered defense. Survival depends on anticipation, not armor. The Persian Gulf connects global energy routes. A large portion of the world's oil passes through nearby waters. Any disruption here would affect economies far beyond the region. That makes presence more important than action. The carrier does not need to fire a weapon. Its location alone forces others to calculate risk. Every movement is watched. Every decision is weighed against what could respond within minutes. This is why aircraft carriers are deployed early. They arrive before agreements collapse, before lines are crossed. They exist to shape outcomes, not react to them. Every operation on a carrier is controlled from multiple command centers. Air operations, ship navigation, and threat detection are handled separately. Decisions are layered. No single person controls everything. This reduces mistakes, but it also means actions can begin very quickly once approval is given. Speed is not just about movement, it is about time. A carrier allows decisions to turn into action within minutes. That time advantage often matters more than firepower. Aircraft carriers cannot operate everywhere. Narrow waters, heavy missile coverage, and shallow seas increase risk. This is why positioning is careful and deliberate. Where a carrier stops is as important as where it does not go. Many people think carriers are symbols meant for television. In reality, most of their work happens quietly, far from cameras, far from headlines. Their real impact is usually invisible. An aircraft carrier is not about a single weapon. It is a system of people, aircraft, sensors, and decisions. Everything is designed to move faster than events on land. That is what gives it power. Many people think carriers are symbols meant for television. In reality, most of their work happens quietly, far from cameras, far from headlines. Their real impact is usually invisible. While the ship itself is nuclear powered, the aircraft are not. Jet fuel is stored deep inside the ship in protected tanks. Fuel is moved upward through secure systems to the flight deck. Every launch depends on a logistics chain that never stops. Aircraft are inspected after every mission. Even small issues can ground a jet. This is why maintenance crews work around the clock. The true limit of air power is not pilots or planes, but how fast they can be made ready again. Everything on a carrier runs on strict timing. Launch windows, recovery cycles, crew shifts, and maintenance. If timing slips, power projection slows down. Precision in time is what keeps the entire system alive. The Islamic Republic of Iran has repeatedly claimed that aircraft carriers can be sunk easily. In reality, that is extremely difficult. A carrier is protected by multiple layers of defense, long before any weapon gets close. Submarines, destroyers, radar aircraft, and early warning systems extend its protection far beyond the ship itself. Hitting a carrier is not impossible, but it would require coordination, timing, and escalation on a scale that leaves very little room for error. This is why carriers are used carefully. They are not sent forward recklessly. They are positioned where they can operate, withdraw, and respond without being cornered. The goal is not to provoke. The goal is to be ready. Right now, the presence of a United States aircraft carrier near this region reflects that reality. Tensions between Iran and the United States remain unresolved. Signals are being sent without words. And if the situation changes, the ship is already in position, not to start a war, but to make sure one does not begin on someone else's terms.